we know where we're going with this?
Nope.
Just a conversation at the fire door. That's all it is. Hey there, welcome back. This is video two of Healthy Human Conversations at the Fire Door. I'm Patrick Hitches.
And I'm Zach Franke.
Have we even introduced ourselves?
Probably not. Who knows?
Do people even know
Probably not.
who they're listening to?
Is anyone even watching these?
I don't know.
Oh.
I have no idea. Unless you already are familiar with us, I guess we should introduce ourselves if you've come this far along with why you should even listen to us.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
Well, my name is Zach Franke. I run a business called Health Coach Zach, and I do health coaching for a living. I work with men and women who are trying to get healthier in some way, shape, or form. A lot of the time, that is through weight loss, but it could be also sleep, energy improvement, even attitude improvement almost. I've been called a life coach before, but that makes me really uneasy because at times I'm like,
that's a lot of responsibility.
yeah, I don't even know what I'm doing in my own life.
Not that someone's health isn't a lot of responsibility, but
Sure.
But life is,
Yeah.
it's all encompassing.
Yeah, so I basically have centered my life around improving my own life and improving others at the same time. And it's a fun career. Healthy Human is just one piece of how to keep that ball rolling. So, how about you, Patrick? Who are you?
Who am I? It's a good question.
That's another video.
I think the best way to describe myself is a fitness entrepreneur. I've got multiple facets of my business, but like Zach, I health coach. I think you do it more locally at this stage in the game, but my clients are around the world, so it's mostly online. And then I have a training facility here in Cincinnati, a training compound, and then we've tied in other elements of that with a co-working space and a new yoga studio that's about to open, and various other elements. But so I guess that's the gist.
Yeah.
It's the gist, and like you, I think I'm always on this quest of kind of figuring this all out, but not thinking that there's some end goal necessarily, because I don't believe in goals.
No.
Right. So I'm just enjoying the process and the journey,
Yeah.
and knowing that there's going to be plenty of ups and downs.
Yeah.
And I embrace that big time.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people get kind of caught up in their head about some end path, and have this thing in their head of, I'm not living my life until I get here.
Yeah.
So I try to, break down those barriers. And
Sounds like a lot of stuff you're talking about is mindset.
It is.
Yeah?
It is, and I think that's kind of what we're talking about today.
Yes.
Which we talk about a lot anyways. Just having the right mindset of going into life. And it can go across everything that you're doing.
Yeah, your mindset is going to affect, let's just talk about weight loss and how mindset would affect that. Why don't you start? Why is it important to not just do the right things, but have the right mindset while you're doing them?
Yeah, oftentimes what happens is you've got this objective of trying to lose 10, 20, 30, 50, 100 pounds, whatever it is, and you have this mindset of, holy crap, I have a long way to go, and this is going to be a battle.
Yeah. And
I've failed this many times in the past.
Yeah.
I've tried this many diets.
Yeah.
And this is a lost cause.
Yeah.
And I'm going to fail.
Yeah. Not that just that it's a battle. It's there's no way this is going to work.
Right.
And that's how so many people start.
Yeah.
Is I'm going to do this for 3 weeks and then I'm going to go right back to my old habits. You're exactly right, because that's what you just said.
Yeah. Once you register that in your mind, it's like it's already done. Like you might as well not start, but
but you might as well not start.
Yeah, exactly. I know. Why put yourself through that torture of feeling like an endless failure?
Yeah.
So shifting that mindset from the get-go of, I'm going to enjoy this process, and I'm going to make small changes. And I'm not trying to make this some impossible task where I have to wake up earlier, I have to hit the gym harder, I have to give up all life pleasures in order to get healthy. It's like you actually want to enjoy life's pleasures.
Right.
So you are healthy.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
So just having that mental shift is not just an effective way, but it is really the way. You know, like unless you have that mental like paradigm shift, it's almost impossible to get there in a sustainable way. You might get there, you might lose a bunch of weight in some sort of calorie deprivation mindset and approach.
Right.
But it's not going to stay that way.
No.
Unless you fix everything else that's going on.
Yeah. The power of the mind is not to be underestimated. And you're going to work, I tell my clients all the time that you're going to have to work just as hard as you do in a gym pushing out a last set as you are with working with your own thoughts.
Right.
Which most of the time we think our thoughts are out of our control, that it's kind of just something that happens in life. And for most people, and even you and I, unless we have those moments where we bring in, oh wait, what am I thinking about? What am I doing? We're on autopilot. Most people, we're just on autopilot, and we associate ourselves and what is going on in our own heads as who we are. You know, if we have some, if we stub our toe, our thoughts go to screw this carpet that made me stub my toe, and and then the kid comes in the room and you yell at the kid, and then they're crying, and then you're all of a sudden like your whole day goes crazy.
Right.
What we've lost is the ability to recognize that at any moment we can stop, ask ourselves, what are we thinking about? Where are our thoughts going to lead if we continue in this negative mindset? And that can be from stubbing your toe all the way to trying to lose 30 pounds. It doesn't matter. The example is still the same, that when we're on autopilot, we lose control. We give up our power. And that's not a good space and not a safe space to operate out of for sustainable, healthy living. If that makes sense.
Completely, 100%. Yeah, so I think the first step is to be aware that you do control your thoughts. And it's not like...
For some people, that's the first time they've ever thought of that.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
I
know I had that moment in college. I read a book called The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle, or however you pronounce his name.
Yeah.
And the first 30 pages, I was so confused. I was like, what is he talking about? Like, we are our mind. Our mind is us, And then he introduced this concept to basically rise above your own thoughts and observe what you are thinking about. And you become the observer at that point.
Right.
You are no longer your thoughts, which most people are just intimately connected to what they're thinking about.
Right.
And I had that moment. I was like, what? It freaked me out, because I was like, holy crap. Like, I just observed the fact that I'm like really anxious about something. And then you can go, well, what am I anxious about? Oh, how do I change that? How do I do? But most people, they're just like, I'm anxious, don't talk to me. I'm going to punch your lights out if you come at me. Right?
Yeah.
And the first time I realized that I had control over that, I was like, that was strange. And it didn't change my whole life right then, but it was the spark, the insight I needed to start down that path. And now I'm to the point where I can have pretty bad things happen, and I know that I can control where that happens.
Yeah, like where your mind goes with it, and how you're affected.
Yeah, I'm still human. I still get
and
mad.
Life's still going to come at you.
Life still comes at me. There's going to be times probably when I fall completely unconscious and I'm completely associated with my thoughts, and I'm completely down on myself about something. But I'm to the point now where thankfully I can step outside that and be like, how do I write this path again? Because right now I'm just in my own head, and this is all thought driven. So how do I change the direction of that?
Yeah.
And that's so important when you're trying to lose weight or get healthy. If you cannot control your own mind, your mind leads to your actions lead to your habits become your life.
Right.
But it all starts with the mind. So if you are not actively questioning your own mind, you have no prayer.
Right, exactly, yeah.
You have no chance to get to where you want to go.
Yeah, and I think just because we're introducing this concept to you that you can control your thoughts, don't think that you just turned it on and now for the rest of your life you're set. Like, we basically gave you a stick, a blunt stick. Now you have to sharpen that down to a sharp knife. This is your tool, to create success, and you need to get there, and that blade's gonna get dull. Yeah. It's not gonna stay sharp. So you have to always be working on it.
That's a great analogy.
Reading, thinking, when it does get dull because you've been using it, and it's coming, things are happening.
Right.
So you need to stop and say, all right, I'm going to refocus. I'm going to recalibrate myself here. That capacity can be low sometimes, and when you feel like you're short fused and you're mentally just not there, you're not crisp. You need to figure out ways to become crisp.
There's such a thing called neuroplasticity. We used to believe that you can't teach an old dog new tricks, that our brains were kind of, once we got to a certain age, we were wired a certain way, and that's how we were kind of screwed. If we had a great mindset, great, you're going to have a great life. If you have a mindset that's conducive to pain and anguish and always being down on yourself, you're kind of screwed.
Right.
I'm simplifying it, but that's kind of the old way of thought. Now we're finding that we can literally rewire our brains by bringing in new thought patterns. Another one of those things is the concept of gratitude, or just being aware of all the good things in your life and how impactful that can be. Because if you train your brain to start seeking out the good things that are going on in your life, you're going to start finding more good things.
Right. It seems so obvious, right?
I don't even know if this is valuable. It seems so simple.
Right, but I mean, I'm guilty of that. Like I'm guilty of, wanting to, create an environment that I envision, and not seeing like, wow, look how far I've come. So I had to stop myself and at the end of the day, be like, wow, look what I've done this week.
Yeah.
Look how far I've come.
Yeah.
Because all of a sudden you realize like, shit, I've done a lot.
Yeah. Because think about it. If you never acknowledge achieving anything, you can gain the whole world and feel like you have nothing.
Right.
20 years from now.
When in reality, you have everything that you need. Mm-hmm. Everything that you need. If you get water, food, shelter, friends and family, like what else could you ask for?
Yeah.
We've got our mason jars,
water,
here at the fire door,
friends,
good conversation.
Mm-hmm. I'm truly enjoying this moment right now.
Me too.
Bringing yourself into the moment, presence. You'll hear a lot of that if you ever go to a yoga class or anything like that. It's a buzzword right now, presence, being present in the moment. Mm-hmm. And just because it is a buzzword and it's a new thing doesn't mean you need to dismiss it. There's something to that.
Well, and is it really new either?
No.
This is the concept that is just continues to get recycled and gets put to the top. It's like people are talking about it because it's so real.
I think it's such a novel concept right now because it's never been easier to be distracted than it is right now.
Yeah, we're living in a society like this. We're constantly being distracted by ads and people trying to...
Which means in the future you need to buy this if you ever want to be happy. Right?
Yeah. News
articles. Can you believe that this happened? It takes you out of the present moment and into something that you have no control over.
None.
And when I read the news, I get very upset. I've learned to train my mind to not really read the news anymore. I like to say I'm informed, but at some point you realize it's just the same stuff over and over and over, and you just get caught in this cycle of negativity.
Right.
And so I realized, hey, I want to control my mindset better. I better stop throwing myself into these pools of negativity. Even if you can only control your mind so long before that stuff drags you down.
Right. Exactly. And if something super important happens, somebody's going to tell you.
That's right.
Right?
Yeah, that's right.
Who said that for the first time?
Tim Ferriss.
Did Ferriss say that?
Yeah. If we have a major event go on in our world, everyone's going to be talking about it.
Right. Exactly. So it's going to come up and you will be informed.
You will be informed.
The alternative is to dive into the news all day long, every day, which I think you did for a period of years. And you live in this feeling of, wow, the world is a horrible place.
Yeah.
Like people are horrible. What are we doing?
Right.
But the reality of the fact is, you travel around the world and you meet people that are just good, genuine human beings. And like these rare situations, relatively rare in terms of the size of the world, are the only thing that are newsworthy because it catches people's eyes so they can get more viewers and sell more ad space.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Oh, yeah.
That's all it is.
Yeah. I say they, and I don't know who they is, but we'll just say they in the news or the media or whatever we've constructed in our society right now, they want to keep us in a state of distraction and fear. Because if we are constantly distracted and uncomfortable with our own selves, what are we going to do? We're going to seek out things to bring us pleasure when the realization that we need to all have is we can bring our own pleasure into our life right now, in this moment, by changing our mind and thinking about things differently. And this is not new. This is Eastern philosophy. This is what Jesus talked about. This is what Buddha, everyone talked about this stuff. This is not new. But for some reason, at least in my life, I just dismissed all that stuff as like weird stuff.
Oh yeah.
When in reality, it is the only stuff that we should focus on and realize at least. This isn't to say we sit in a room, Patrick and I, and just hum to ourselves and think about being happy. But it's such a valuable tool, like you said, to have when stuff is hitting the fan, to step outside that and bring awareness back into everything's going to be okay. And we're all going to die someday. So no matter how serious the situation is, we can only control our reaction to it, basically. Am I simplifying it too much?
That's basically it. But at the end of the day, it's like, like you said, someday we're all going to die, right? That's it.
Yeah.
And so how are you going to live the days and months and years of your life while you're here?꯫ I feel like everyone's goal is just to be happy, if you want to call it a goal. Everyone just wants to be happy. And being happy is usually attained by feeling good. So how do you feel good? You feel good by thinking you feel good. Like you start there. Like that's ground zero.
Yeah.
Just like think you feel good.
Yeah.
And then slowly start implementing.
But Patrick, I don't feel good. What do I do now?
You don't feel good? Just think
That's what
you
I'm
do.
saying.
Just think you do.
That's stupid. That doesn't work. What do you mean? Just think I do.
Just think
I don't
you do.
feel good. My knees hurt. I'm overweight. When I look in the mirror, I don't like what I see. You're telling me just to like think that away? What are you saying?
Yeah, if you envision that you feel good.
Okay.
And then start to implement all of the things that you need to be doing regardless.
Yeah.
If you're currently choosing bad paths towards bad knees and you're eating God knows what and you're not sleeping.
Right.
So those things, we can work on.
Yeah.
But just start with the mind. Start to think, I envision this reality to where I feel amazing.
So you're almost talking about the placebo effect.
Yes.
Which is a real thing.
It's real.
That if there's ever an illustration of the power of the mind, it's the placebo effect. We have documented double-blind studies that show we can heal different ailments the same as with a pill, if not more powerfully, just by thinking we're getting something. What is that?
Well, because like the flip side of the coin is, even if you're doing all the things that are going to get you to where you're a healthy human and to where you should be feeling good, if you never rewired your mindset and you think like, God, I feel like shit, God, I feel like shit, and all you're saying every day, all day is, I feel like shit, you're just going to feel like shit. I just said shit like 10 times.
Shit? You said shit.
I did. But it's the same idea of if...
So you're saying I could get $10 million tomorrow, have the body of a Greek god, have a beautiful woman on my arm, eat like a king, but if I still think that that's not enough, I'm going to feel like crap.
Exactly.
So you're saying if I don't have any of that stuff, but I think that I have all the abundance and everything I need in this moment right now to be happy, that I could be happy?
100%.
Is that what you're saying?
That's it.
Cool.
That's it.
That makes sense.
It makes life a lot easier.
That makes sense. Another thing I want to talk about is visualization and how important that is. I had a client that I asked him, how many times have you ever envisioned yourself with a different body? And the answer was none. And that threw a red flag up to me, because if you never envision yourself in a different space, you know, if you say you want to lose 60 pounds, but you've never created in your own mind that version of yourself, never seen how your day is going to change, how your habits change, how your relationships change, how your confidence changes, how your whole life changes when you get in that space, you're not connecting with your subconscious to say, go there.
Right.
You know, if you only see yourself, we live into what we see ourselves as. So if I never saw myself as a health coach, would I ever become a health coach? Never. Is there any prayer of me becoming a health coach if I never saw a future version of myself as a health coach?
Never.
Never.
Yep.
You know, there's a reason that JFK said we're going to the moon, and we had no idea how that was going to happen, but he put it out there.
Yeah.
If he never had that thought, would we ever go to the moon?
Or do we?
Did we? Yeah. Dun, dun, dun. But would we ever come up with the conspiracy of going to the moon?
Exactly.
But it all starts with the mind. And so if you have a goal in mind, I'm just using that as a word right now. I know Patrick doesn't like that word. But if you have something in mind that you want or are trying to accomplish, and you've never consciously directed your thoughts to that space, you're never going to get there.
Right. You have to visualize it. You have to dream it. You have to see it. You have to believe it. Yeah. It has to have already happened in your mind.
Yeah.
In order for you to start taking those steps to get there.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you'll just be stagnant and stuck and living the same life that you've lived up until this point.
Yeah. And
that might be fine for some people.
Oh, yeah.
If they're already
content and happy,
then I guess
turn it off or help other people get there.
I mean, I live under a philosophy of, be happy with where you're at, but always strive to do more. Mm-hmm. Right? I think we have a whole lot of capacity.
Unlimited potential.
Unlimited.
As soon as I believed that, my life changed.
Yeah. And like I feel like I'm tapping into this much, mm-hmm. and I have this much, but not to say I'm not enjoying this much. Mm-hmm. I'm definitely enjoying it.
Yeah.
But I know that I can do and be more, always.
Yeah, it's a cool concept.
Until the day you die.
Even if you become the most advanced person on the planet, you're still only competing with yourself at the end of the day.
Yep.
So even if you become a ninja and a billionaire and the president.
I love how you started with ninja.
Ninja's
That's
on
great.
my mind. I wish
right.
I was a ninja.
Do you want to be a ninja?
Even if you could learn to fly, right?
Yep.
You come up with something where you know how to fly.
Like
you're the only person on the planet.
Like Peter Pan, right?
Yeah, exactly. Peter Pan.
He could only fly if he believed he could fly.
Who here has seen Hook? He's holding the teddy bear, think happy thoughts, think happy thoughts. He's floating up in the air. As soon as he loses his happy thought, he falls down. Hook, right there.
That's it.
Robin Williams, rest in peace. But yeah, you have to believe before anything can happen. And that's why your mind is so critical. And if you are thinking thoughts where you cannot accomplish a goal, I will put all of my life savings on the side that you will not accomplish that goal. However, if you believe with all of your heart, mind, and soul that you are going to get to where you want to go, and you have no idea how you get there, I'm putting all my money on you. Because with that belief, that unlimited potential comes out.
Yep.
It sounds so simple. Just believe. You got to believe.
But it's something you have to work on.
It's so hard.
Every day.
And I think one of the reasons is we've had belief beaten out of us.
Yeah.
We're told, you can't do that. Your friends will be like, are you crazy? You can't quit your job. What about your 401k? Or what about this? Or what about that? Or, and we just suck out any belief that you have, like a vacuum is what our society does right now. They try to keep us in the box and stay in the box. And if you stay here, you'll be happy. Yet, why is everyone unhappy? We have so many people on antidepressants. 70% of our population is overweight or obese. We have all these problems, yet we'll defend the system to the day we die.
I know, and it's this like vicious cycle
Yeah,
of
it's crazy.
circulating the same concept.
Right.
You know, until someone from the outside comes in. Let's think about it this way. Now you're a tree hugging hippie.
Exactly.
You know,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm getting there maybe, but you're definitely not a hippie.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, nothing against hippie. I like hippies.
I love hippies.
Love hippies.
I consider myself a libertarian hippie, but which is they're opposites. If you didn't catch that.
I've been termed a weightlifting hippie.
Okay.
I'm
Yeah.
a weight.
And the reason you're a hippie is because all of a sudden you're thinking about true happiness. You've realized that, you know, you used to do bodybuilding, and you realize that probably when you achieved that body, you still probably weren't happy.
Right.
You're completely satisfied.
Yeah, you get to a place. It's like I've got the 3.5% body fat,
Yeah.
just completely ridiculous.
People look at you and probably like, man, he's got everything.
Yeah, you attain some sort of goal. I don't like. That's why I've hit so many goals in my life where I was trying to make something that was tough happen, and then you get there, and then you're, what can I do now?
Right.
Yeah, like, what's next?
And you didn't enjoy the journey to get there, and you didn't enjoy the moment when you actually got there.
Right. It was a
Yeah.
huge battle, and it
Yeah.
you know, it kind of sucked in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
It was very, very tough and trying. But if you just relinquish yourself of that completely and just strive to do cool things, but not feel like your life has to be all about some end goal.
There's no perfect that you're going to achieve ever. We're automatically flawed.
Yep.
Humans are completely flawed from the get-go. But I think the problem is people put too many eggs in the basket of I'm flawed versus I also have unlimited potential.
Right.
And we need to shift those eggs out of the I'm flawed, I'm going to stay in my lane, I'm not going to rock the boat, that stuff's too scary to think about, or hey, sports are on, I'm just going to focus there right now. You know, like we said, there's never been an easier time to get distracted than right now.
Yeah.
And so you're going to be going against the grain and feeling like an outsider and feeling weird and doing, you know, if you even start to think about this stuff, or if you bring this up with your buddies on a Friday night drinking beers, they're gonna be like, what are you talking about? We're not naive. We acknowledge that stuff is out there, but we would also say that it's a cool place to be when you start to think about that stuff and get perspective or a new way of thinking, or you're literally laying new neural pathways in your brain to kind of make your default state happiness. How many people's default state, they wake up unhappy. They don't even know why they're unhappy. They're just unhappy. You know, that people, and I'm not here to tell anybody what to do, but people should want to change that, I would think. I want to change that.
I would think instinctively you don't want to live in an
I
unhappy
don't know.
state.
Some people
might be wired to be on that side of the spectrum, just in
Right.
you know how they were raised or just their genetics.
Or that's what they're comfortable with now.
Yeah,
They've
become
been,
that.
They've been a negative person for 10 years and they don't know anything else.
Right.
So stepping outside that box, even if it's in a logical of course I would like to be happier, it's scary because that's the unknown.
Right.
You know? Man, we got deep on this. What?
I know. So this is video 2. Do we have any handouts or anything to give to our viewers
Yes.
for this video?
Yes, we have something that is going to get you in touch with your why. And it's very important to discover your why you want to get healthier, why you want to lose weight, why you want to sleep better, why you want to have more energy. Why do you want to do all that? Is it because you want to be around for your kid's graduation? Is it because you want to run a marathon? Is it because you want to just feel better? Whatever that why is, you have to dream. That's why Patrick doesn't like goals, is it gets you so far down in the nitty-gritty details that you lose the overarching why.
Right.
What am I striving towards? Why am I waking up in the morning? What is my purpose? Once you get in touch with that, it's like somebody lit a fire under your ass, because you want to get up in the morning, you want to improve, you want to go to sleep earlier, you want to eat better, you want to have all this energy, you want to be healthy because you have something great that you're striving for. And if you don't have that, you're going to give up after 2 weeks. You're going to think that losing 20 pounds is going to make you happy, but then you might lose the 20 pounds and go, I feel the same. Actually, I feel worse because I gave up all this stuff that I liked, and now I don't have any of that.
Right.
So what the handout at the bottom is going to be is going to ask you some questions to help you get out of your own head, get onto paper, what are you trying to do with your health, your life, whatever it is. Why are you stagnant, if you are stagnant, or what is currently slowing down? And usually that is something that's a source of pleasure. We usually do everything in our life is either running away from pain or running towards pleasure.
Right.
So getting clarity on, the reason that I don't go to the gym is because I don't like the way I look. I don't have any confidence and I feel bad when I get in front of people at the gym.
Right.
Oh, well, how do I overcome that? Oh, well, I could work out at home. So you're going to uncover not just your why, but the obstacles to your why, and then you can take action on it. And so hopefully once you do that, leave comments in the bottom of the video and let us know if you had any realizations at all, or any of the stuff we talked about gave you any insight, or if you disagree with us, please disagree with us.
Always.
So do that handout at the bottom, leave comments, feel free to email us as always. You want to give your email?
Yep, again, my email is patrick@myfoundationfitness.com. You can email me anytime, I will reply.
Yes, and mine is Zach, Z-A-C-H, @healthcoachzach.com. Feel free to email me, to message me and say, hey, that video was great, or man, you were a dummy. I don't really care. I'm happy to converse with you either way. And anything else we're missing?
I think that's it for today. We have a handful of videos more, 4 more videos to go.
4 more.
So stay tuned, keep your eyes peeled on that inbox, and we will see you next time at Conversations at the Fire Door.
At the fire door. Boom.
Bottom.
Boom.
I mean, I'm sticking around.
I'm sticking around. I'm gonna just stay here till the next video. Hope my clothes change. Oh, by the way, did you notice he has jeans on now?
Got the jeans.
Got the jeans.
Hair's still going.
Hair's still going.
Do you know why it's still going?
Why?
Because I'm gonna be Wolverine for
That's
Halloween.
Right. That's right.
Listen to this.
That's right.
So Friday night, I was out with some buddies, and unprompted,
Okay.
literally unprompted,
They said you look like Wolverine.
I'm wearing a long sleeve shirt. I was not wearing a tank top. I had 4 or 5 different people I didn't even know say, Wolverine! I think it's because I've got my dog tags on.
Yeah.
I found these at the parents' house.
Well, and didn't you have blades come out of your
well, of course. That's it.
That's it.
Cut.
That's a wrap.
Cut.
Cut.
Done.
Cut.
Next
Done.
time.
Deuces. Dude, look how high my pants are. I'm like Steve Urkel. They have no idea why we do that.